We are live. Here we go. Let me share this real quick.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people currently live right now holding up the Facebook live space. What's up, everybody? Welcome to our Facebook, brought to you by V1 Marketing and Training. Uh, Let me share this really quick. So listen, if you're on my YouTube channel, do yourself a favor and like and subscribe this channel. If you're watching on one of my Facebook pages, just do us a courtesy and share the live stream. Drop a comment. Tell me where you're watching from, where you're at, what you're currently doing. Today, I have a very special person, one of the most essential people on my team. Uh, I got Reg, aka Regina. She's been with me for a while now, and she started off in my real estate business. I think you started off as a cold caller, then you worked your way to this position, and then we end up moving you over into the V1 company to become a recruiter. And I can tell you, I seen a difference in my business as she went out and found some of the best talent that you can find, including personally for myself. Uh, some of the hires she made has been crazy. Like, um, it's crazy. So I let her introduce herself and tell everybody how she got started, and then she'll jump into her presentation.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Reg. I'm one of Boss's employees or VAs for his recruitment agency. So, just to give a brief background of my employment. So, prior to working from home or being a real estate virtual assistant, I did work in the call center or contact center industry for roughly around 4 years, and most of them are in the customer service industry. After that, I decided to work from home since it's more convenient. I can provide more to my family, and I can give more time to my kids as well. So I immediately started in the real estate industry. I didn't have any background, so I started way back 2017. I started as a cold caller as well for a direct client, and after that, it's history. I have been with Boss since June or July last year, and he's correct. I started as his dispositions specialist for his real estate business. So I initially applied as a cold caller, but when Darlene, I think, or Janice interviewed me, they said that Boss was actually looking for a dispositions manager, and it actually one of my previous job fit to what they were looking for. So, and the history happened. I was transitioned to the recruitment position. I think that was way back November, if I'm not mistaken. And from there, I have been helping Boss in hiring VAs that we endorse to our different clients. So, yep. When I started in the recruitment part of Boss's business, it was a bit tough because I really didn't have any background in recruitment and also in the hiring process. But with Boss's help and Janice as well and Darlene, with everybody's help, I was able to formulate like a step a specific process for us to hire the correct VA for the correct for the client, um, provide the VAs that they are looking for. So for today's video, we are going to discuss the things needed, the things that you will consider before you will hire a VA. Okay, so let's start my presentation. Let me just share my screen. Here it is. Okay, so let me just play the presentation. So, yep, as what Boss mentioned earlier, if you have any questions, just post your questions so we can address it properly. Okay, so as what the title says, this is the video is about VA selection and the hiring process. So we will consider or we will discuss what you need to consider before you hire your VA, the list or the platforms, platforms you can use to hire VAs. So before anything else, you have to think of a specific reason why you need to hire a VA. And you have to think, or you have to think if it's already the right time for you to hire your very first VA. So here are the things you need to consider before you start hiring your VA. So, if you think that you are spending more time on administrative tasks than growing your business, then it is one of the indications that you need a VA to help you out with your business. Also, if you feel like you are overworked and overwhelmed with the tasks, then it's high time that you need to hire your VA. If you also feel that things are not falling into place, you already need someone will help you, especially in administrative tasks to lessen your workload, then this is one of the things like um, yeah, scenarios that you already need to hire your own VA. And another thing, if you also feel like can never actually catch up with all the work, you are already not being able to concentrate on the important or your priorities, then it's high time that you hire a VA. Well, running a business is also time consuming. There's no way around that. If you know you're spending too much time and you are only doing a mediocre job on tasks such as social media management, doing spreadsheets or reports, and also cold calling, then it's high time that you hire your own VA. And here are also the indications that you are ready to hire your first VA. So you are making your, or well, you are already earning enough to hire someone. So you have enough funds to pay another person to help you out with your business. You're ready to let go of the task, also those information, like files that you feel are a bit what do you call that, a bit private or important to you. If you are ready to share those information, then you are ready to hire your own VA. And also you also have that understanding of what to expect from your VA, the things that they can do and cannot do for you. And also if you already have the systems, the tools, and the policies in place, these are needed in order for you to be able to manage your VA more effectively, and for you to have a good relationship, start a good relationship with your VA. So you also have to consider objectives before you hire your own VA. So you initially have to identify the best source of VAs and handpick what is beneficial to your business. You also have to find the right VA that will bring your business to the next level of success. Okay, so for our next slide, we will already discuss the hiring process. This is also what B1 Marketing and Training LLC does in our hiring process, hiring and recruitment process. So we set up a specific budget, like we have a specific computation that will fit our finances. You have to create a job description to set proper expectation to your VAs. Find the right platform for the job post to where you think you can hire more VAs or the VA that you are looking for, and the selection process and scheduling of interviews. And the last part, once you have selected the right one or the one, then you can do the contract signing. Okay, so the first step before anything else, before hiring your VA, of course, you have to set up your budget. And here is a sample computation of what you need to consider or what you need to compute when considering the salary that you need to pay or give out to your VA. So, as here in this stage, we need to calculate how much you can afford to pay your VA, and because your VA also serves as your investment. So virtual assistants generally charge per hour, but some charge by task, and you have to figure out how much per week you can spend and then divide that by the amount of hours you need them to work per week. So with this computation, it will help you arrive at the hourly rate that you can manage. So example, if you need your VA to work like 5 hours a day, so that's 25 hours a week, and you feel that you can afford $4 per hour. So you will have to compute, you will have to pay that VA $100 per week. And for 1 month, you will have to pay them $400. And within a year, that will be $4,800. So that is your budget for your specific VA if you hire one VA for your business. Okay, the next essential process in hiring your VA is, of course, creating the job description. And in this process, you would need to be very specific on the job description, because this is where you will inform the VA of what you are looking for. So you need to outline the task you wanted to achieve. You can start by making a list of all the tasks and processes that you plan to delegate to your virtual assistant. You also have to document the outcome you want them to accomplish instead of specific tasks or procedures. So you give them what you want, and not really being very or micromanaging, but provide or like giving them the process that you wanted, but giving them the overview of what you want them to do for you. So once you have all the list of tasks to delegate, you'll need to create a job description for the role that will be responsible for the task. So you can list out what you need them to do, what experiences they have, and how many hours a week you need them to work. So we, for the next slides, we do have a sample job description and the list of tasks that AVA will do. So for this sample job description, we did indicate here the what we are looking for. So we are looking for real estate investor virtual assistants, and the rate is $4 per hour. And we also indicated on how they can send their application. So we asked them to fill out the form. Next is the process. You also have to indicate the process that they will have to go through during the hiring and recruitment process. So it says here, screening applicants and interview will start this week. We will send an email to confirm your schedule. Note that this is a work from home job, and we prefer female applicants. Well, mostly for because what I do for V1 marketing, I select Facebook, a couple of Facebook groups, online and work from home groups in Facebook. However, there are restrictions when posting um, a job description, specifically when they see this statement, we prefer female applicants. I did try this before when I initially was transitioned to the recruitment, most of my initial posts were taken down by Facebook because it says they said that it's some kind of discrimination. So I just remove it, and we just filter after we receive the application, because we also receive applications from male VAs. We For male VAs, it's more tedious because we have to make sure that if we have them pass or go through the next phase, that's the trait of that specific male VA is what the client needs. So regardless of the gender, they still can do the job. Then we endorse them to the client who doesn't have any gender preference when it comes to their VAs. So aside from that, you have to include the basic requirements. Like, of course, they have to have good communication skills, both verbal and written. Of course, since they will be working the entire time in front of the computer, they have to be software savvy, computer and software savvy at that. And system requirements, like for their desktop or laptop, at least i3 with minimum of 4 GB for the RAM. Also, they have to have a stable wired internet connection with at least 5 Mbps as the speed, and a quiet space or quiet room for them to work. USB type headset with noise canceling feature, and of course, if you will be hiring them as a cold caller, it's a must for them to have at least an outbound calling experience in the call center industry or home based setting. And you also have to indicate the days and the hours or duration of their um, employment or their daily task. So for V1 marketing, we don't necessarily give them the expectation that they will work part time, because we also have other clients who are looking to hire full time VAs. So we just indicate the 20 to 40 hours time frame, and 5 days a week. We also indicate if they will be working on the weekends, just to set proper expectation. And of course, we also have here the list of the applications and dialers that we are requiring for them to have an experience in using. So, well, since most of the real estate investors use Podio as their CRM, so we included that in the messaging applications, since SMS Blast is also one of the effective marketing tool. So we included that. We did not specify any application here, but for V1, we use, or for bosses, real estate business, we use Smarter Contacts. And Dial Pad, Mojo Dialer, and Call Tools, those are the common dialers that most of our clients use. But if the client doesn't have any dialer yet, they can opt to just use whatever the VA has experience in using. Example, if the VA previously used Zen Call or Call Whale in their previous job, then it will be best for the cold caller or the VA to use that instead of having them use another tool, because it will take some time for the VA to get used to it. Next is G Suite, which is already the preferred way of creating documents, also G Drive. So it will be access on the documents will be real time. And we also indicated here that it is a requirement for them to complete the personality assessment test. So one of them, or a few of them, is Tony Robbins, and the predictive index. So we use this for us to like get an overview of the personality of the applicant. In that way, you can already see how they what to call that, how they react to a certain situation, like an overview of their overall personality. On the other job post, we have indicated here the tasks that they are expected to do. Like if you are hiring a cold caller, indicate they will be doing lead generation, appointment setting, nurturing leads. So, in order for them to do their task effectively, especially in the real estate, so you can indicate or add that it is a requirement for them to have an experience working with a real estate investor, U.S. real estate investors. And nowadays it's n- uh, nowadays most of the clients also wanted their VAs to, especially in the real estate, not to just focus on cold calling but also help them in doing admin tasks like doing skip tracing and lead generation. A few already are requiring their VAs to at least do some basic social media management, so that will help them in the marketing of their business. So it's the same thing. We have included the number of hours and if it's part-time or full-time. Okay, so here is another sample of the job description. So we were very specific in the what we are looking for in a VA, and also the applications and dialers and the work schedule, also the personality and technical requirements, and what they can expect from the company once they get hired. Okay, for when you start looking for a virtual assistant in your network, your virtual assistant doesn't technically have to be someone you find online. You can ask your friend if they have been working with a virtual assistant. You can ask if they can refer someone, and make sure also to create a comprehensive job post with the complete description of what you expect them to do for you, as well as on how you will assist them in making it to reality based on the tools you will provide and the pay that you can afford. So, when creating a job post, you have to be very specific of the expectation or the tasks that you wanted them to do, and especially in the schedule and the pay, because those are the information that they are initially looking at. Okay, and of course, after you have set all those lists, after you created the job description and all the requirements that you need from the VA, you need to find the right platform for the job post. You need to find the correct or the appropriate or most effective website on when you can outsource your VA. So here are a few of the platforms we have here in the Philippines. I think this is also international for Upwork. For Upwork, it as the day or recently they have become very, I'm not sure, a lot of changes recently happened in Upwork, like fees, they charge higher fees from the VAs and from the clients as well. So before selecting the specific platform on where you wanted to post or create the job post or post your hiring, you also have to consider research on the fees that you would need to pay. If this is just one time, or if it's like for V1 marketing, since we are a recruitment agency, we have to consider the monthly fees, if this website will really provide me with the VA that I'm looking for. So that's for Upwork. onlinejobs.ph, this is where we usually hire, because for onlinejobs.ph, it's just a one time monthly fee, no other fees. So your VA won't have to pay any specific fees. They don't have any restrictions in sending their application. Same thing on the client side, they don't have any restrictions on the number of VAs that they are going to hire. And we also have Fever, freelancer.com. So it's not only for these websites, you cannot, it's not only restricted to just hiring code callers or real estate PAs. You can find a lot of freelancers and VAs in this website. So if you need someone who is good in, or if you're looking for someone who will help you create a website, then you can just post it. Just be very specific with the job description. Okay, and another platform where we post our create our job post is through Facebook groups. This is where I usually create the job post. For this, you it's for free. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to be very careful in selecting, because there are applicants. Regardless if you already have indicated the requirements and all the expectations you want your VA to have, there are still a lot of applicants who are not reading the information indicated on the job post. So you have to be very keen when it comes to filtering the applicants that you receive. So here are, aside from Facebook, here are, so in Facebook, we have the following groups that you can join and post. We have Hiring Filipino Virtual Assistant, Philippine Virtual Assistants Network, Online Filipino Freelancers, and Home Based Job Pinas. So prior to being able to post your job, you have to join them. There is just a few questions you need to answer before your request gets approved. Okay, so for our next slide, we will already discuss the selection process and the scheduling of interviews. So you need to be on the lookout for someone sharing what you can do, what he can do for you, instead of those who will only brag the skills they have that might not be useful for you or for the goal that you want to achieve. This is what I was saying earlier. You have to check the what to call that, the um, resume, just to make sure that they comply to what you are looking for, they possess the um, experience you're looking for. And well, some only add just to, or indicate those experiences that you're looking for, just to add up to their experience. So you have to be very careful as well in selecting, especially in the interview process. So you have to take note of those important information that they are going to provide. So after that, you will need to shortlist your application with those who most likely you think will be a great VA, then schedule them for a short interview. What I do for V1 is I initially, because we require them to submit a sample voice recording, we send them a specific script that they need to record. From there, aside from checking on their resume, that's one of the things that I initially check. I listen to the recording. If their if their recording is good, they have good communication skills, pronunciation is okay, then I schedule them for interview. And from the interview, um, that's when you will be able to know if they were really the ones who created that recording. Because yeah, some are just good when it comes to recording, but they really don't articulate much, and they're not very conversational when you talk to them personally. So, as you interview each candidate, don't ask them about their work experience. and skills. Ask them about their goals, their hobbies, how they like to work, and how they like to be managed. And perhaps the most important thing is ask them about their values. Conflicting values become a source of conflict in a relationship. So, in this way, because job experiences can be indicated on their resume. But for these questions like their goals, their hobbies, what they expect from their client, what they expect from the task, you will only be able to know these if you get to talk to them personally. So you have to. At least you already have like an idea of the things that you will ask them during the interview. And you can even ask your candidate to complete a free personality test. That's what I mentioned earlier. You can use Tony Robbins and also uh, predictive disc or predictive personality test for you to assess or just give you an overview of how they um, react to certain situations, like an overview of their attitude, work attitude at that. Okay, and also you have to look for someone who has answers to your questions and the solution to your problem, and someone who has the piece of the puzzle to your road to success. You will be able to feel that during the interview if you feel, or you will, yeah, you will feel the sincerity in their answers if you with how they provide answers or answer your questions. You will feel that you will feel if they are only just answering those questions just to get through the interview, and or you, there are also those applicants who are very sincere when answering those questions. Those are the right persons to hire. Okay, and once you have selected the um, right VA, or the person you would want to entrust your business to or help you with the success of your business, then you will already go through the um, yeah uh, last process, which is the contract signing. So before having them sign the contract, you already have to, or you should already have picked the person you can relate to. The person is what I mentioned, since you will be sharing information about your business, and in some time you will share also your life with them. So you have to select the one that you really trust. um, I really can't explain how, but there is this feeling that when you speak to a person with how they answer, then you can feel that this is the right person I want to hire and help me with my business. So if you already have that spark, if you feel that spark with that particular applicant, then it's time for you to hire them and have them sign the contract. If you need like an outline or a sample contract, we can provide that to you. You can just reach out to us, and we can give you a sample contract. So in the contract or the service agreement, we have the description of the services included on the contract, schedules and day off, including holidays, payment services, non-disclosure or non-solicitation clause, grounds for termination, the confidentiality, liability, and should also indicate the dates on when both parties signed. Okay, well, that's it. That is for our VA selection and
Awesome.
hiring process.
Thanks.
Um, yes. For this process, as what you saw in the entire presentation, it is very tedious. If you are only going to hire like one or two, it may take you like a week for you to complete the entire process. But to help you avoid this hassle of the entire recruitment process, you can V1 Marketing and Training LLC is here to help you. You can reach out to Boss Anton or any of us. We also have our websites for you to send us a or Facebook page for you to send us a message if you have inquiries. So, yep, have your VAs um, or hire your VAs through V1 marketing.
Awesome. Good presentation. You gave a lot of juice today. Yeah. So, like she said, you can do. You got two choices. You can do this yourself. And I'm gonna be straight honest with you. You can do it yourself, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna fail, right? Or you can hire a company like us, and we have a big company where even if you failing, we can provide you a different VA in a moment's notice like that. We specialize in hands-on training. We have over 65 years worth of experience and combined with all the team members that works for V1. So we kind of know what we're doing. Um, it's not like we just decided to do this yesterday and now we're experts. We literally been around this business, and I decided to grow this company with these lovely people because they know what they're doing and they have a passion for people. Number one thing is have a passion for people. Drop your question, guys. This was an awesome live today. Like I said, my lives are driven based on solely content and value. I don't care about the sizzle anymore. I don't want to hype you up. I don't want to rile you up. I just want to provide as much realistic value that you can take and actually go tomorrow and use and implement in some way or fashion. So we're gonna answer some questions. I'm gonna try to get you out of here because, to believe it or not, Red's working complete schedule. She has to be back to work later on tonight. She works the. She was so grateful, guys. Say thank you in the comments. She was so grateful to come on her shift early to do this live because she works during the daytime, in the Philippine time, um, and since she's a recruiter, right? And it makes sense. And then uh, while we sleeping at night, she's out recruiting, getting VAs for us. So let me go through some questions real quick. Yeah, so drop where you from. If you're new and you're thinking about getting a VA, call us up and see if it makes sense. If you're experienced and you're looking to get your current team trained, we have some amazing resources as far as cross training that we're just starting to implement. People are taking advantage of. I think that class booked out for the next 3 weeks. So definitely get on the waiting list um, to get this cross training. We have training in lead management. We have training in phone mastery, and we're about to introduce some amazing training for what is it?
For
Accent training or something else. So
yes,
definitely.
accent, social media, and
Oh yeah, social media.
also yeah, SMS.
Yeah. And SMS. Yeah, SMS too. So let's rock and roll. You ready? So first question. How do you know the difference between the superstars and the regular employees?
Well, for superstars, initially you would look at the experience they have. Experience is the number one factor that you would need to consider. But as what I mentioned earlier, experience is not enough. You also have to consider the attitude. And one of the factors that will help you consider the attitude of, will help you figure out the attitude of a superstar VA is through the Tony Robbins or the personality test I mentioned earlier. Um, you can formulate a specific question in order for you to know how they react to certain situations. Well, and sometimes with how they answer a specific question, that's when I think of a specific question for me to know if they are really interested, how they work in a specific task or whatnot. So it has something to do with the questions you ask.
All right. Okay. Go to the next question. Jason asks, how many cold callers can an average VA make? No, how many cold calls? I'm sorry. Can an average VA makes per day on a 5-hour shift?
Well, for that, it depends on if they are already an experienced cold caller. For the application or applicants I interviewed, some of them says if they're given like 200 dial or leads in like an hour, they can finish that if they're already experienced. It depends on the leads that they receive or the list that is given to them. So yeah, it actually depends on their experience. If the VA that you hired doesn't have that much experience, if they only have been doing cold calling for like a month or two, then around, if you give them around 100, then in an hour, maybe yeah, 60, 50 to 60 calls per hour. It depends on how fast they um, learn the process.
Awesome. Someone asks, how are the VAs getting paid? PayPal, Western Union, bank transfer.
Yeah, it depends on the client as well. With Boss, we initially used PayPal, but we had issues with PayPal. So right now we are using Payoneer.
Hmm.
I also heard a few VAs, they get paid through Remitly, TransferWise. What else? Yeah, those are the common payment methods.
I like paying
Um,
this.
yeah, I do like Payoneer more than PayPal as well. Before considering, if you don't have any payment methods yet, before considering your payment method, you also have to do your research. Check if this will charge you or the VA a higher fee. Because
Right.
in the for PayPal, I think they charge 2.5% of the total amount you send them, and they also have restrictions if you send it like for payroll. There is a higher fee for that, and I think they're not allowing like a gift already.
Yeah, family
So
and
yeah,
friends. That's why they kicked me off PayPal.
yeah, because if you send it through family or friend, they have less fees, but yeah, it's not really allowed. So you have to do research prior to selecting your payment method. Or
Awesome.
you can also ask your VA if they already have an existing um, uh, payment method, so you can just register your own, or the other way around.
Exactly. Awesome. So Virginia asks, can you have one VA cold call, SMS, admin tasks, or is it best to hire two part-time VAs to handle these tasks?
Good question. Well, it still depends on the skills of the VA that you're going to hire. If initially you really don't have that much budget, you can look for a multi-skilled VA. So they can do cold calling. You can also train them to do SMS, but these expectation, or the task that they should be doing, should be set prior to them starting.
I
You
agree.
have to set proper expectation. So, and it's also important that your VA is not overworked, because it's not good in the part
I
of the
agree.
VA. They
I
won't be
agree.
able to produce the outcome that you wanted, because yeah,
And because
nobody
some
wants to
VAs
be
don't know how to
overworked.
say no too, so they keep on taking the work,
Yeah,
and
that's
next thing
one
you know,
thing.
they burned out. They burned out. So you
Yeah,
don't want
that's
that.
one thing about Filipinos. So
Yeah,
they just accept all the tasks without considering that they're already overworked, and eventually they get burned out, and then they quit, or they won't work at par or with the expectations you set. So it depends. You have to also gauge if this or your VA can do it. As what I frequently mention during the um, orientation, communication is the key for you to have a good relationship with your VA and your client. If you feel that you have too much on your hand, then just be open. If you feel that you also need more help with your VA, then just talk to them. Your VAs can also refer someone who can help out, but that's additional fee. Well, to answer your question, well, both. You can have an individual, like in Boss's business, real estate business, we have a specific cold caller. We also have a specific social media manager, or sorry, SMS manager. We already hired two.
yeah, we
But
got.
yeah, but regardless if they are just doing cold calling and just for SMS, they still do a few admin tasks. But going back, you have to make sure that they are not overworked.
Yeah, I think the add to that, I think you have somebody with a core skill, whatever that's cold calling, SMS, and then you look for a complementary skill that they might have before you hire them, that you can easily plug and play. and work
Correct.
off of that. Don't try to make your VA run your entire business. That don't work like that. That's the reason
Correct.
why I have between 10 and 12 people that work for me directly at any given time. The number fluctuates. People come and go. And the reason is I don't want all of that pressure on one individual. I give you an example. Regina yourself, we end up hiring somebody to work under you. She assists you with the training and content,
Hmm.
copywriting, and all of that great stuff. And we identify that because we didn't want you overworked. So as a company, you have to be able to identify when enough is enough for your employees.
I agree. And also during the recruitment process or the hiring process, you also have to consider someone who is easily trained, because they you also have to consider additional tasks. So initially, you will hire them as a cold caller. Then eventually, they you can train them as an SMS manager or some additional task. If you hire someone who is a quick learner, then eventually they can handle more tasks. But you also have to compensate them accordingly to the tasks that you
Exactly,
provide.
exactly. Exactly. Next question. Will the VAs provided by your team be trained in all the tools mentioned, or will we have to train them on the tools once we receive them?
Well, in that, what we do is we coordinate it with Darlene and Janice. For the training that we provide, we only provide them with the basics of real estate investment and also cold calling. And we also give them expectation about the possible tasks that they will have to do. But what we train our cold callers is just skip tracing and lead generation. For additional tasks like social media management, it depends on their experience. But if you need your VA to have experience on that, then we will give you a VA who has experience in social or in SMS. But if
Right.
they don't, if this specific VA matches a few of the requirements, if it's okay with you, then we give them to you. But if you want all the skills, um, or you wanted all those experiences and the skills, you want all those tasks to be done by that specific VA. Once they get hired, then we will give you a multi-skilled VA. So it depends on what you need. So you have to
Yeah,
communicate that
yeah.
properly to Darlene and
And,
Janice so we
and,
can.
here's the reason, right? The reason why we don't train the VAs on every single tool is because each operator uses different combinations of the tool. So we
Correct.
would rather have the VA have a blank mind, not like they don't know anything, but enough that when they get onboarded with you, training them on this tool won't be that bad because it might be a completely different tool that we spent 2 weeks on training them. So that's the important reason why we like to have the onboarding call first. So then we can add that into the consideration. So as we train it, we can focus more so on specific products and tools to help them. So that's the
Correct.
reason why we do it that way.
Correct. That's why we hire someone who is a quick learner for us to add up to their skills. You can help them and add up
Right.
or add skills, or well, most of Filipinos, like for me, I like learning. So if you give me a new task and it's new to me, I learn it initially on my own. If I need your help, then that's the time that I reach out. Most Filipinos are
I,
like
I can I can attest to that because do you mind talking about how you even end up being a recruiter?
yes. Well, as what I mentioned earlier, I started as a dispositions manager, and a few weeks after that, I was getting trained as a acquisitions manager. And well, yeah, the reason why I was transitioned to the recruitment is because of health reasons. Yeah, I my doctor well actually my doctor asked me to resign. I already sent my resignation letter to
Oh
boss,
man,
and
it put
yeah.
like a dagger in my heart. I said, "What I do? Why you quitting?" Like I take people quitting on me very personal because I'm not a quitter and I don't tolerate quitters, right? So if I know you're a good person and I know you got a good heart and you're a hard worker, I get very offended if someone quit on me, right? So I
Mm,
asked her. I called her. I think I personally called her and said, "Hey, what's going
yes,
on?"
boss.
She said, "Boss, I got some health issues. My doctor don't want me working graveyard shift anymore." And then I said, "Okay," and I felt bad. And then I said, "You know what? Tell you what, are you still willing to work?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "I got something for you that I think you might like." And I said, well, we are in the process of growing this VA company. We grew this great. We didn't start this VA company intentionally. What happened was I went on the Steve Train show, and I talked about my VAs and literally went viral about VAs. I ended up helping a few people as a courtesy. The first few people I helped, even after I started the business, I helped another few people and never like brag about it or talk about financial what I do for people. That's not my courtesy. And then I realized like, hey, this is an actual company. We need to be paid for this because my team's supposed to be cold calling and doing real estate, and we focusing on VAs. Like this don't make sense. So Janice end up coming over to this side of the company. We end up I'm sitting on a plane, and I'm like, uh, V1. I'm like, that's the, that's the point where there's no turning back. We done took on so many customers, there ain't no turning back. So let's name the company V1 Training. So long story short, it got so bad that Giants couldn't even keep up with the recruitment. We was giving VAs out left and right. It was crazy. Like I admit, the first batch of people, we could have done a better job with. And if anybody out there hearing me talk, and if you feel like we didn't do a good job with you at first when we first started, come on back home. Let me take care of you. You ain't gotta go nowhere else. Let us make it right. We'll take care of you. It's all on me. Training, whatever you need. Just because I'm that big on customer service. And I said, Reg, I got this position for you, and I don't even know if you want it. Like she said, what is it, boss? I said, you're gonna be my recruiter. And mind you, I don't even think. Have you had experience in recruiting before?
No, I don't. It's my first time, and it's
But
my first time talking to people like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You like an introvert.
Yes.
You don't really like talking to people. But
No.
so I said, listen, I will show you everything I know. Janice will help you. We will make you comfortable, and we will turn you into one of the best recruiters on the planet. And she said, okay. So here we are. She literally is one of the best recruiters. Like anytime I need an employee, I call her. It was to the point that now we what I supposed to have before this virus happened, but I'm not. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna mention that. Somebody gonna try to steal my ideas. Too many copycats. I leave that alone. I shut up. But yeah, so we end up working together, and man, we went to the moon. Like we like now business is great because we got Regina kicking ass on the front lines, reviewing applications, throwing away like, oh, they terrible, don't come over here, bringing in some of the best people possible, and I'm very humble for you.
Yeah,
So
well, I really am grateful for this opportunity. Yeah, well, it works best for me because I have more flexible time and more time to rest. I initially started when I was still in the dispositions because I didn't have that much task to do while
right,
waiting for the properties to market. So Janice from time to time ask us to conduct interviews. Just we already have a set of questions to ask, so we just take note of the answers and then forward it to Janice, and that's it. And then from there, yeah, well, I think I can ask questions, so I can do recruitment. So the rest is
right.
history.
The rest is history. No looking back, and we looking to even double. I put on my Instagram the other day. We got 12 people working for us directly. I'm looking to get to 30 people in the next 12 months. As all the stuff we're looking to offer and our products, it's going to be bananas. What we got in store for you guys. Let's push through these questions because somebody them asked a bunch of questions while we was talking. Uh, can you change a VA after a week or two and you see the energy chemistry is not a good fit? I can answer that if you want.
Go, boss.
And you go behind me. The answer is yes. And here's the thing. And we don't promote this enough, but we're going to make it a campaign. We offer a 6 month warranty on our VA, which basically says if anything happens to the VA that's outside of your control, right? That we feel is that you had nothing to do with, we will replace the VA as a courtesy. So if you feel that your VA doesn't match the energy or the chemistry, we will replace that VA. Now, that being said, it must be documented. You must have proof. You must have your weekly meetings. You must can show that you tried to work with this person. Because let's be real. Most times, a lot of the operators that we work with are not leaders. They never been a leader. They never managed people. So it takes some adjusting to get to, right? You can't look at someone with the same mindset when you was working a W-2 job. It don't work that way. But we definitely replace them. Any feedback on that?
Well, as what I experienced, because I initially has the first touch with the VA. So if they have issues with the client, they also reach out to me. So what Janice does is she will investigate. So we also receive messages from the clients, and I send her the messages I received from the VA. So she gets to talk to the VAs, and she also gets to talk to the client. And that's where she weighs if it's really the fault of the VA, then we let go of the VA and provide a different VA for the client. If the VA, if at the end of the investigation, the VA didn't have any fault at what happened, so we provide a different client to that VA, and we provide a different VA for that particular client.
Right, right. I want to ask, do you give tests or exams as part of the hiring process?
For the hiring process, we really don't have exams or tests except for the personality assessment. But if you want, you can provide it to Darlene or send it to Janice. And prior to endorsing that particular VA to you, we can have them take that assessment if you want them
Right,
to take
right.
specific assessment.
But we make it so that all of the people that we hire, first of all, they go through a very scrutinized process. They got to
Yes.
get through Rage first. First of all, that's the gatekeeper, right? Once they make it through her, it's like a video game. They got to go to the next level. They got to get through Janice,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Janice is a tough cookie. She's nice, but she's very tough. And I like
She
that.
is. She is.
So once they make it through Janice, then they got to go back to Rage and go through 5 days of basic training. So in this training, it's not paid training. And yeah, I'm giving a little secrets away. This is a little secret, but here's the reason why. If you quit on me after 5 days, you damn sure gonna quit on our clients. So we want you to self pluck yourself out. So yeah, so use that as a good nugget. Let's move on. Awesome presentation, Reg. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're
Antoine, nothing but
welcome.
nuggets. That's not even nothing but nuggets. I don't even know what
Thank
we
you.
call this. What do we call this show we do every Tuesday? This is just a we come up with a name because we're considering what I can talk about. I know my team allowed me to. We're considering doing a weekly show with VAs, where VAs interview each other and talk about common things and struggles, and answer questions like unscripted, not rehearsed, not no pre-recorded video, not reading off flashcards, straight up raw content and the best transparency possible. So if you're interested in that, type in the comments interested. And if I can get enough interested, then I'll push my team and set that up for me. I want to say excellent. We did it ourselves, and some of the VAs just stuck around for the paid training, waste of time and cash. So pre-train is a great option. Listen, Ashley, if you are still in the market for a quality VA, hire a company like us that
Mhm.
has a backing. We have tons of VAs always getting trained. We never stop hiring. We literally got to. I think we kind of running short now on. We got to double the
Yeah.
amount of hiring and training we're doing just because business has spiked. Um, if you're interested, come over to VAMasterysystem.com. Someone from the team will reach out to you and get a quote form. Or if you're already ready to make a move, there's a payment portal on the site. You can make your payment, and you'll have a VA within 3 to 5 business days. So yeah, truly providing value. That's the whole point of doing the live. Guys, listen again. I went with V1 after doing this on my own. It's tough.
It
I'm
is.
telling you
It
guys.
is
I'm not.
tough.
Listen. Why in the world would I sit here and give out some golden secrets if I myself didn't believe that it was that tough? If I thought that everybody can go do this tonight or tomorrow or next week, I will not be on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram right now talking about what we're doing. But since I know that majority of the people cannot make it through, first of all, when you schedule an interview, you better schedule 10 interviews because 5 of them ain't showing up. Right, Ray. How many times you got
Yes.
like they don't even make it to the interview. So like this is man, this is some tough work, man. It's tough, man. It's terrible stuff.
It is. With just a few steps, it is already tough. and you have to go through the screening and the interview process. It's really tough. So if you don't want to go through this process, B1 Marketing is here for you.
Exactly. Someone said, great job, extremely helpful. Mike Byhauser said, is it possible to hire VAs to complete tasks from lead generation to closing? Yes, it is, but it's going to take an operator like me with patience. If you don't have patience, if you don't trust the process, if you're not a visual person, if you're not an aggressive person, if you don't have an appetite for risk, do not do it. I'm just
I
crazy.
agree.
I'm the type of entrepreneur I can hop out of a plane without a parachute and figure out that shit on the way down. That's me. If you're not like that, don't do it because working with someone 8,500 miles away takes a lot of patience. It takes a
Yeah.
lot of patience. Someone said, "How many SMS can you do in an hour?" To be honest with you, we try to pump out between 150 to 200 SMS an hour, and the reason is we want to be able to respond. If you send 2,000 SMS out in 1 hour, you're gonna be wasting money because there's no way in hell your team can respond to all of the incoming traffic from the text messaging. So I definitely say do it in a balanced approach, and that's why we end up calling Reg, hey, we need another baddie, and she hooked us up
Mm.
with the a VA. Um, it feels good to actually own my own VA company because I never have to worry about talent. Like I literally said,
Yes.
LaShawn, like, babe, I need a VA. Oh, you want that? I got you. Hello, we need a VA. She had a VA, so it's a blessing to have your own VA agency. Hey Antoine, did we get one of your? If you still the VA master? Yes. If you are still the VA Mastery program, is the cousin of V1 Marketing. So if you enroll in the VA Mastery, which I recommend because it teaches you as the operator things you should be doing, so you
Mhm.
can have a better experience with the VAs. And we're looking to bring out that VA Mastery recharge very soon. We're working on the rest of the content so we can get to taping it. But yes, you're entitled to up to two VAs with the purchase of the VA Mastery course. So for what we're selling it for, man, it's a no brainer. That's why so many people buy it because you get value. Not only do you get value, you get all the free training we're offering now. We're not stopping there. So if you bought a VA Mastery course from us, you're entitled to. Some of the operators are taking advantage of it, enrolling in training themselves as well as with their VA side by side, so they both can learn this stuff. Right?
Yeah.
You're never too good to learn. I'm never too good to learn. I'm literally reading books and watching stuff every day. So take advantage of the VA Mastery. I'm considering when the VA Mastery recharge come out, I'm considering upping the price about $300 because I know it's worth it. So take advantage of it. That's how you get started. Now it's a lot better. I'm extremely happy. Ooh. Um, Aside from the setup fee, are there any retainers and escrows or upfront payments? That's So I don't want to shoot myself in the foot because we just rolled out a different product yesterday. But we're going to be specifically talking about this core product that we've been working with for the past year. Um, no, we don't charge no upfront retainers or fees. You are responsible for paying your VAs. And if your VAs, there's language in our paperwork, and if your VAs are not being paid, we can repossess your VAs and give them a job somewhere else that will be where they be paid at. So
Mhm.
just keep in mind to be responsible and take care of your
Yeah.
team because they're the reason why you're doing business. Someone said, I got to put Janice on the map. Someone said Janice is a beast.
She is. She is.
I think someone gave us a name, Tuesday Tips. That might be
Tuesday
okay.
tips.
How do you handle the bonus for your VAs? That's a good question. Well, the V1 side, we have to sit down. I got to sit down and figure out a bonus system for them. They've just been strictly working off their pay, but I'm definitely going to do a bonus based on revenue milestones. So when we hit a certain amount of revenue, everyone gets the pack. It gets this much, and whoever's an employee, it gets divided equally because everyone contributes to this. It's not just Reg, it's not just Janice, it's not Darlene. They all need each other in order to be
Yeah.
successful, including me. I need them. We need each other. No one person runs this show, and that's why I love this company because it's all teamwork, right? You can't be a one person show trying to push VAs. It's not going to work. If it was just me trying to push VAs, man, I'd have stopped last year. I was like, man, I can't deal with this. But you definitely need to invest in take care of your people. Now on the real estate side, for every deal you lock up, you get $50 bonus. You get every deal to actually make it to the closing table, they get another $250 bonus. So in all, it's about $300 per transaction. Um, I want to say interested in VA Interactive Live on Tuesdays. Yeah, that's gonna be dope. So when should I consider hiring a VA? Well, Regina went over it already, but I guess if you want to repeat it, you can repeat it. If not, I can repeat it.
Yeah, well, for me, would well the only a few things for you to consider. If you feel that you really can handle all the tasks, because I believe that you really cannot work alone, not unless you feel that you can do it, can do everything. But as what they say, no man is an island. So you need someone you trust that will eventually help you become successful with your business. And if you hire a VA, you have to be very particular about it. You have to select someone, as what was mentioned earlier, someone you have that chemistry, not only when it comes to the task itself, but personally, someone you can relate to personally. There are also those it's just based on some stories I read. They those VAs share their problems to their clients, and the clients do that, share their problems as well, and they help each other, not only to become successful in the client's business, but also to be able to become a better person. So
Right.
if you there are also those clients who talk to their VAs, or relate to their VAs as a family member. Well, that is one of the traits that Filipinos has. They consider their boss as their family. So they will help you in any way they can.
I agree because everybody, man, y'all treat me like gold. Y'all treat me, man, so good. Like I literally feel like we cousins. Um, so anything I can do to help my team, I try my best to be of value to them. Let's see. Uh, Someone said, do we have to take two VAs when we get the course, or can we take one first and another one later? If not ready, yes. There's some people who bought the VA mastery course, and it's crazy. They didn't even want the VAs yet. They just wanted to learn. So when they're ready for the VAs, it's already reserved at the price because they're smart because they know Antoine Campbell gonna go up on his price. He's just been generous, so they locked in that 929. And that and that's how I came up with their price 929. That's my birthday. So I said, pay me my birthday, right? So most of my pricing is 29 on 929, and it's a symbol of me. And I should have been charging more, but I let it be. But yeah, so say for example, you want one VA now. I think you got up to 6 months to claim your second VA, right?
Hmm.
Without
Yes.
incurring another fee, but up to 6 months. And if you can give us a courtesy 2 weeks or 21-day notice, that would really be grateful. Because like I was just talking to the team, there's a lot of people who bought the VA Master Course who haven't cashed on a VA, and I got a funny feeling we're gonna wake up one day and half them people gonna be looking for a VA, and we're gonna be short staffed because we always busy giving out VAs. Once I hire a VA, realistically, how long till you get a deal? Realistically, no one person has this. It's like my palm, right? My hand. No one person has the same pattern, right?
Hmm.
So that's the same thing with the VAs. It all depends on your ability to be an effective leader, your ability to identify good leads and pull good leads, your ability to follow up, your ability once the VA give you leads to nurture the leads, right? You're not going to lock up deals on the first go around. That's just I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that if nobody else ain't tell you that. And it just depends on how consistent you are. So I can't give you a guarantee when you will lock up a deal. Matter of fact, we don't even track people who got deals from VAs. And it's not because we don't want to, it's just because everybody's results are different. And trying to track that potential KPI is going to scare so many people. Some people go with a VA to do a deal the first week, make 20,000. Some people go with a VA and haven't done a deal yet. And then when you go back and look at it, oh, it's because you had spurt of being consistent. And now you're trying to throw the VA course under the bus. You're trying to throw your VA under the bus. You're trying to throw the software coming to the bus, but you never once took the time to look at yourself and say, I'm full of shit, and I'm the reason why I am in my own way. So sorry for going on a quick rant, but that's just how I feel. Once you guys get a lead qualified, what is the process of the lead after that in the closing? It's so virtual. Once you get a lead qualified, the process is for that cold caller or appointment setter to nurture the lead until they're ready for a cash offer or telephone appointment, since it's virtual. And once they identify that they're ready for a telephone appointment, they will book the time and the date with the acquisition manager, and the acquisition manager take that lead from there and nurture that lead up until it becomes a dead lead or until they close and agree on price. And then once they close and agree on price, they take it over to disposition, and disposition do their job to try to sell a deal. Love the content. Guys, listen, I appreciate you. I love everybody. We got to get going. Because you got to have some more awesome people. Because it's crazy. Uh, if you haven't subscribed to this and you're currently watching maybe the replay, I'm just speaking in future. Definitely like and subscribe. YouTube got me on YouTube ads, so I'm getting a check now. So support my channel. Watch the ad. Don't skip it. Um, and just look out for us. If you need a VA, your number one option should be VA Mastery System. Don't come back to me 6 months later telling me I went with such and such, blah, blah, blah. It seemed good at first, but shit went to hell. So I'm going to say to your face, I told you so. You should have came to us. But other than that, I hope you have a marvelous Tuesday. Check me out tomorrow on the actual Nothing But Nugget show. I'm having Brandy Turner. She's a local realtor here in the DMV. Come on to talk about the COVID-19 stuff. And then Thursday, I'm having another crazy guest. And then I got another guest booked for next week. Listen, the Nothing But Nugget show is about to be crazy for the next 4 weeks. I got guests I got guests on my show that's really going to impact some people's lives. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna spoil it all. So catch you guys later. Thank you, Reg, so much for everything you do. I appreciate you to the 10th power. So make
Thank
sure
you,
y'all
boss.
share this video, and if you need a VA, call us up. We got you. Peace.
Thank you. Bye.